Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, welcome to the Valley Ranch Islamic Center. This is one of the biggest, one of the most famous, one of the most popular masajid in Dallas, Texas. And why is it so? Today, instead of telling you the history or the architecture or the programs, today's video is going to be different. Today's video is going to be about my personal experience with this masjid. So, the Valley Ranch Islamic Center. So this was my first masjid. This masjid was my first masjid when I first moved in. In 2018 January, I moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Irving, Texas. After that, unfortunately, immediately, suddenly, my mother only had a few months to live. We used to live 5 minutes from here, from this masjid, when this used to be an old musalla. And at that time, they were raising funds for this masjid to build on this land. But while I was going through such a hard and difficult time in my life, and I did not know anybody in the city, I reached out to this masjid. I reached out to the imam, and I reached out to the community, the volunteers. And all of those people, the sisters came in. The sisters came to our house, to our home, 4 or 5 sisters. They came in, they talked about Islam, they talked to my mother, they talked about how we should keep our faith in Allah, especially in times like these. They made my mother happy, they made her smile. Even in those difficult times, the value of community, and the sisters had no other agenda but just to make my mother feel better, even only for a few minutes. They spent some time with her and they felt great. Alhamdulillah, she felt great. And after that, they would come once in a while, talk to her, make her feel better. And Alhamdulillah, after a few months, she went to Allah. May Allah bless her soul. And after that, I went into a lot of grief, a lot of bereavement, a period of sadness. And the brothers would come out to my place, to my apartment. They would come, spend some time with me, bring food. They had a meal train for 2 weeks, and they would ask to extend, but I said no, and me and my wife said no. They would come, bring us food, try to make us feel better. A month later, I had to move from my apartment to another apartment. Brothers from this masjid came out, 4 or 5 brothers, Indian Muslims, brothers came out, and they helped me move such heavy furniture. And they said, we go to the gym, we do it for the sake of Allah. What's the use of all these muscles and all this strength if we can't use it for the sake of Allah? They didn't ask for anything. I told them, let's go for dinner. I'll take you guys out for dinner. They said, if Allah is happy with us, that's all that we care about. A year after that, I went to the hospital. I had a sudden condition where my lung punctured all by itself. It's called spontaneous pneumothorax. I had to be taken to the hospital immediately. And at that time, a sister and a brother from this masjid, they just happened to be there at the hospital at the right time, at the right place. And my wife, she started crying. She hugged the sister because for us, this was family. And at a time like this, seeing your sister from your family, it made her feel better. That look what just happened, and you're here, and who I have no one else to talk to. MashaAllah, the sister and the brother, they brought food for me at the hospital while I was about to have surgery, but Alhamdulillah, their prayers, the brothers and sisters, the prayer from this masjid, the prayers of my family, my wife, they saved me, and I did not have to go through surgery. The brother visited me. Then brothers visited me, the same brothers that helped me move. They visited me. They took me, when I was getting discharged, they took me from the hospital to my house. These might not be big things for you, or people might say, what's the big deal? But for me, I will never forget what this masjid, the people of this masjid, the people who make sujood and ruku and du'as to Allah in this masjid, what they mean to me. I will never forget that. And Valley Ranch Islamic Center, it might not be a huge masjid, it might not be able to accommodate people in Jummas. They have 3 Jummas now. It might not have grand or architecture, but it has a community with a heart, a community that has stuck together for years. Before this masjid, they used to pray in the musalla. in a small musalla. They have love, they have care, they have respect. They know what a community is, and that I will never forget. So Valley Ranch Islamic Center is a special place. It's always going to be special. It's always going to be in my heart. And just coming here after years, all I can think about are all the good deeds that the brothers and sisters of this masjid have done for me. For the sake of Allah, not for me. I will never be able to repay them, but all I can do is make dua for them. Allah bless the brothers and sisters of this masjid and all masajid. Bless them for the good deeds that they do and forgive their bad deeds and their sins. Ameen.